You guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee, 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 coffee.
How you doing, fellas? That's not decaf, is it?
Viennese cinnamon.
Bam, bam, ba-da, bam, ba-dam, bam, bam, ba-dam, bam, ba-dam, bam, bam. Whatever. I love that opening theme. That's fun. Good morning, everybody. It is time to have some morning coffee. Hey! Keith made his coffee as well. He was on camera, and now it's off camera.
Well, I'm sorry.
wondering why.
Apologize.
What's going on? Why? There you are. Everybody wants to see your beautiful face. Let's say good morning to our crew, the Wrecking Crew. That's what I'm going to call our chat, the Wrecking Crew. And, of course, that's after a famous book and movie, which Keith and I grew up watching with Dean Martin. And good morning, Mr. Tickle Trunk. How are you doing, my friend? Oh, you flip me the bird and give him the rock out sign. Awesome. Hey, fuck you too, buddy. Fuck you. Anyway, good morning, Dust Wolfen. How are you doing, John? Hope you're having a good morning. Tickle Trunk says, I like my coffee like I like my woman ground up in my freezer. I mean, hot black, a little piece of lemon dash. I once said it to an office full of girls, lovely, beautiful Georgia black women. And I walked in, got everybody coffee that morning. And I walked out with my coffee. One of the girls says, hey, Gerry, how do you like your coffee? I said, I like my coffee black with some cream inside. Oh, Gerry, you're so crazy. You cray. Good morning, the Marshal, all the way over in Croatia. How are you doing, my friend? D-Bud Martin, my friend, good morning. It's good to see you guys. Magitech Mags is here. Hi, Mags. How are you doing this morning? AF Watcher 88, good morning. And Aaron Ratliff has joined us. Martin has not joined us yet. I don't know what's going on. It's been a weird fucking weekend. So fucking weird. Let's see who else is here. Christopher Carroll, good morning. And Penny is here. Good morning, Penny. I got a message from Danny that he might show up this morning, but I haven't heard from him or Martin. And I cannot help it. I'm an old mother hen. I mean, that's why I was a medic, why I became a paramedic, because I worry about people. I'm always worried. True story. First time Josh and I got together in Chicago and he was flying back home to LA, I said, call me when you get home. I said, because I will worry. And he's just thought I was fucking around. And I like left him a shitload of messages. Are you okay?
Yeah.
So he always makes it a point when he travels to let me know he's okay. He got to where he was going. One fucking stream and Gerry loses his mind. I never lose my mind. I'm always in control of it. If I seem crazy, that's just part of the process. And one of the things we're going to be talking about today, and we will be getting into it, I predicted, Keith will assert and tell you I did. I predicted that there's no fucking way that they would remove Michael Keaton from Aquaman and not consider shooting Ben Affleck for one and not the other. It's just fucking ridiculous. There's no fucking way that would happen in the world. Or as, Jack Black would say, how could that happen in a world? That is a Saving Silverman line. Good morning, Anima Confusa. Dr. Dragon is here. Good morning. Absolutely. You finished it, Penny. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. And I'm glad you liked it. It is absolutely one of the best things Amazon has put on so far.
Love that.
Do not ignore established critics. Established critics and the established entertainment media are bought and paid for. Watch out. Don't fucking trust them. This latest story that's going around talking about what's his name? I just forgot his name.
Ezra?
Took over DC temporarily.
Oh,
Michael DeLuca.
Yeah.
And Pam Abdi. This latest story, look, I've talked with Mikey Sutton and he's checking into it. I said, I don't trust a goddamn thing they say about Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi. They are out to hurt David Zaslav. This one actor fucking spoke out and called David Zaslav an idiot. I mean, that's career fucking suicide.
Yeah.
This is how crazy the absolute Hollywood left is right now, that they would commit career suicide and attack one of the biggest, most powerful men in Hollywood, who could destroy that guy's career with a snap of his fucking fingers. They're out of their fucking minds. Dragon Ruse, good morning, sir. How are you?
Well,
I'm sorry. I just assumed your gender. I don't know what dragon sexes are. Are they like earthworms, like both sexes?
I think a lot of people just got used to basically doing whatever they want under the previous administration. A group of people that was running Warner Brothers, which is why everything was so messed up.
Right now, I don't think that David's. I like the description over the weekend that you had was David Zaslav is so comfortable with himself that he's fucking stopped shaving. He doesn't show up to meetings and dressed to the nines. He's just dressed in what he wears around the house.
Yeah.
He's like, he is the cock of the fucking walk right now in Hollywood. Well, Disney absolutely is shitting themselves over what he's done. Bob Chapek is not David Zaslav. He wishes he were.
He wishes he were, but he also is acting like someone who just basically wrecked the prom queen, her sister and mom. You know?
Well, he acted that way until David Zaslav did what he did, and now all he looks like is that one nerd that flipped fucking rubber band up to the front and didn't hit anybody. It's like, hey, I'm bad. No, you're not. No, you're not. The kid that walked up and punched the other kid in the back of the head, that's David Zaslav.
Mm-hmm.
I get your attention now, motherfucker. That's David Zaslav. I am just blown away at how badass he fucking is. But did you just get a hug from Penny? Yes, absolutely. Torpedoing. He went on a cancel rage. I fucking loved it. I'm like, holy shit. If it doesn't fit our plan, it's out of here. So, but we're hearing rumors, and I don't trust it until we hear it from a reliable source. Mm-hmm. I do not trust any of the rags, the Hollywood rags. Don't trust any of them. What did it say? What is that old saying about not trusting something? Something and verify.
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm at a point now after Deadline fucked us with Henry Cavill. I believe now that was intentional.
Oh yeah.
Fucking attempt to hurt DC and David Zaslav. I think that it was stupid on Zaslav's part. Pam Abdi and Michael DeLuca to not head that off. Huge fucking mistake to call them out on their bullshit. Good morning. Loki's Morning of Mischief is here.
Good show this morning,
Loki. Friend, Loki. Man, you are the man, brother. I think I've said hi to everybody. I want to make sure. I hate missing people. Marcos, I'm not sure. I think I said good morning to you, Marcos. Good morning, man. Let me get caught up to where we're at in the chats. Scrolling. Zaslav is the nerd that plants 2 kilos of heroin in his bully's parents' car. I like that one, Aaron.
Wow.
He is a motherfucker. He is not one to be fucked with. And that fucking nobody even knows who this fucking actor is. I've never heard of him that was fucking calling him an idiot. I'm like, well, good luck with that fucking career now, dipshit.
Supposedly somebody that worked on Batgirl. I don't know. I could care less.
Well, it's Ben Affleck's 50th birthday. God bless him. Happy birthday, Ben Affleck. I hope he's getting his life together because, man, that was sucky what he – look, I know he made mistakes. We all make mistakes in our relationships. And sometimes it's by our actions and sometimes it's by our choices. You know, it's human. And we know the song, I'm Only Human After All. 80s, man. Best fucking music ever. Let's see. Zachariah 315 is here. Good morning. I have to point out again, the most beautiful woman ever, Anima Confusa. Fierce eyes, not bedroom eyes, man. Look at those eyes. She's going to fucking kill you, bitch. She will fucking knife you. The Marshal, true, but I've heard Zaslav also wants Beyond. I think that Batman Beyond is absolutely where they need to go, and that is where Michael Keaton needs to be brought in. Keith and I are 100% simpatico. I think we've even convinced Mikey Sutton that that's a good idea.
Well, and here's the most telling fact, okay? The guy who greenlit Batgirl, Walter Hamada, didn't think that Batman Beyond was a good idea. He didn't think it was something that was worthy of them spending their time on because it wasn't something that they could get fans excited about. Okay, right. Genius. I mean, come on, man. That just shows you really don't know your job.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Martin is not going to be here. No electricity. No electricity. I'm doing his voice. Sorry.
Hi, Anima.
Yeah, she says hi to you.
Wow.
All these hugs are making Marshall uncomfortable. He's used to, well, you know, he's a Croat, so he's used to all that hate coming from the East. Yeah, Walter Hamada he's a chucklehead, not a chuckle fuck. He's a chucklehead. He doesn't deserve a fuck. No fucks given. Hey, I played in this band with this it was a rock band, semi-punk band called Sobek in the 90s when I was going to Eastern Illinois University. And we had this Russian, I won't say his last, I'll do it in private, but I won't do it on the show. But his first name was Sergey. And he would say, I don't give any fucks. And I'm like, okay, that it works when you say it that way. I fucking don't give any fuck. I'm like, okay, now that's where it doesn't work. There's no S after the word fuck when said that way. Stop doing that. But he did it with everything. Like he would go, this sucks. I'm like, yeah, that sounds right. And he goes, this whole band sucks all the time. And I'm like, okay, you're adding yes again. It doesn't belong there. Stop doing that. I was happy the day I kicked him out of the band. Well, I didn't kick him out of the band. I chased him out of the band physically. I was going to beat his ass. He made our female lead singer cry.
Ooh.
Anyway, Dennis McCullough is here. Fucking one of the most badass beards I've ever seen is Dennis McCullough, man. I fucking love that beard, man. He's sporting it like a fucking tier 1 operator, motherfucker. Most of you probably don't even know what a tier 1 operator is. Look it up. If you've seen now, Penny, you should know what a tier 1 operator is. You finished the terminal list because they used it several times in that series. Tier 1 operator. I'm letting my hair loose. My hat started irritating my forehead, so I'm letting my hair hang loose. Sorry about that, Bill. Hey, and thanks for finally accepting my friend request on Facebook. so we can now talk on Facebook. Yeah, Martin's not going to be here until his power comes back on. I'm sorry to say. I'm kind of lost without him. I really am. He does my second part of my brain. He operates things for me. So I kind of get lost in the show when I have to run the chat and everything. Wait till I bleach it in November. Why the fuck are you going to bleach it? What the fuck? Military Spec Ops, yes. Now, the Marshal, I like talking military stuff with the Marshal. He knows his shit. That's right. Military Spec Ops, these are the guys that, Tier 1 operators are the top of the top. They're the guys who are actually referred to as anti-terrorist teams. Their actual jobs are to go out and target and kill terrorists. They'll capture them if it's requested. Their primary function is to terminate. Ewan McGregor confirms W1 was originally about protecting Luke from Tusken Raiders. Then someone made the genius idea to change it to Leia. Yeah, it just made no fucking sense.
Wonder who that was.
Could it be Kathleen Kennedy? Could it be the Star Wars writers group? They're so fucking stupid. I still haven't seen Anima say hi to me yet. Have I missed it? Did I miss it in the chat? Did I miss it? I don't know. I think Anima's ignoring me. Yeah, I know. I'm lost without Martin. I really am. I've told him so many times how important he is. I was hoping Danny would show up. He had sent me a message that he would show up today, but I do not see him. I do not see him. I did not hear him. So there we are.
He must be busy.
No, I did not see it yet. It's been a crazy fucking weekend filled with drama. A lot of fucking drama. Not my drama, other people's drama.
Hey, here's a question for everybody.
You DM'd me? You DM'd me, huh? Let me see. I'll see if you DM me. Let's see.
Did everybody see my appearance when Gerry and I got on with Latino Slant? Hopefully you guys caught that, because Paulie had some video from the set of Batgirl. And that video helped to prove my point of what I've been saying about that film and why that film will not be seen.
What was it?
Well, it was the fact that they showed J.K. Simmons on the set. They had footage of him and Leslie Grace interacting. They changed his look for that movie. He does not look the way he did with Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Remember how he looked? He had the mustache with gray in it, kind of like mine. And there's white hair in it. He does not look like that at Batgirl. They gave him this like long kind of hair, and they made it dark, almost red. And his mustache is completely colored red. And it's like, that's a different Gordon. Kind of like the way they made J. Jonah Jameson different with the two different versions of Spider-Man that they had, because it's meant to be two different J. Jonah Jamesons. It's the same thing. That Batgirl film will eventually probably be shown in about another 5 years, and you're going to see that it fits nothing that they have.
It was last night, Aaron. Go check it out. And he's gonna be joining him again to talk more Batgirl. I'm not jumping on today. I'm still having some internet issues here. I'm lucky that this is happening right now. I rebooted the router this morning, the modem, in hopes that it would pick up, and it seems to be working. I seem to be going steadily, and sadly, I ordered my mobile phone, but I had to go for the lower gigs on it. It's only got like 5 gigs per month, and it's a 3-month plan through Mint. So I've got to find a way to up those. I want to up the data so I can do the show through that, because the download speed on this internet is great. You can download just fine. It's the upload that messes me up. And of course, when you're streaming, you need that upload stream, that speed. So what's this, Penny? PGO 1961 on Words with Friends. I can message you through the game info, Daniel. Wait a minute. Did I miss something? Oh, excuse me. Coffee burps. Gonna drink me some more coffee so I can get more coffee burps. I can message you through the game info, Daniel. I don't know what that's about. Let me go see Mags. Yeah, see what I'm talking about? I'm not talking because I'm looking at the thing, because that's why Martin is the other half of my brain. Oh, Martin is in the chat. Good morning, Martin. I wish you could be here, buddy. I'm missing you. But to say the least, I was kind of hoping Danny would show up this morning. And of course, Anima has messaged me privately that you can see my mustache and beard today because I colored it. See, it works with you. Your skin is dark, so the white really shows off your facial hair. You know, and by the way, did you see the picture I showed of you and me when we first started the show?
Yeah, that's
that was like the first. It was our second month, and I'm like, look how young we look.
That was only 3 years ago, man.
Yeah, I know, but look at, and somebody said it. That was pre-COVID. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
You nailed it, because that aged the shit out of us. But I just, I was kind of hoping to see Danny today. Bill Barkley. I watched Nope and Secret Headquarters. Nope was great. Headquarters was all right. Look, that Secret Headquarters looks like really a kid's movie, but I love Owen Wilson, so I'm going to watch it. I love the Wilson brothers. I don't know what it is about those guys. I fucking love them. Luke, Owen, and that one that always plays a bad guy. Because he looks like a jerk. When you see him, he plays such a perfect character in Bottle Rocket, a bully for both brothers.
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of a ginger, though, so it looks right on you, John. Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, he's not dropping his kids off today. That was why he messaged me yesterday, was to let me know that there was no school for him today. So he's not dropping them off, and so he's going to be here. And so I don't know. Things have been rough this weekend for Danny. So I'm not going to go into it. But if Gerry is Batman, he knows why I say that. Wink, wink. Keith is Lucius Fox. Then that is a story I'll go ahead and share with you. There was this young black guy I served with. His name was Chandler. We went all the way through all training together, and we met in basic training. And it was, I had been there only for a few days, and he turned to me, and he was a little guy. He was only like 5'6", and he's like, Batman. And I turned and shot a dirty look at him, and I said, "Why'd you call me that?" Because I thought he knew that I had worked in comics, and I had, I was an artist, and because I'd already done some independent comics already in the 80s before I joined the Army. And so I thought, because I was trying to keep it secret about my private life, because I didn't want any trouble or problems or anybody making fun of what I do. And he goes, Batman. And I looked at him and went, why'd you call me that? What'd you say that for? And he said, you look like Michael Keaton from here. You look like and I'm like, I don't look anything like Michael Keaton from here. And I got so annoyed with him. And every time I saw him, he would call me Batman. You're Batman. And this went on for 8 weeks, 24 weeks together. And it's over half a year. And I was so fucking annoyed with him. But there we were, graduation, about to go to permanent party after all these weeks together. Everybody's dressed to the nines in our Class A uniforms. And I see him and I yell, Chandler, report, because he was in my squad. And he came running up to me at attention. I said, at ease. And I walked close to him and I grabbed him by the lapels of his Class A uniform. And he was a tiny guy. And also I'm strong. So not going to go there. I lifted him up, picked him all the way up, and put him right up in my face, and I said, I want you to tell all your friends about me. And he says, who are you? And I pulled him right up to my face, and I said, I'm Batman. And then I threw him, and he landed, stumbled for a second, turned around, looked at me, and then spun and started running, pointing back at me. And the last image I ever saw of this guy, him running, looking back at me and pointing, going, he's Batman, he's Batman, he's Batman. My last image of this guy, I finally gave him what he wanted. I'm Batman.
You're like Santa Claus like that, my friend.
I'm not in charge of the fucking chat. I don't know what to say. I don't have somebody starring them for me, so I'm missing a lot of your comments. So I have to scroll.
Let me get to some of these down here. Hold on.
So there. Okay. I really need somebody running the chat for me, because that's where my focus is. I don't know how to do that shit. I really don't. I hate doing it.
Wow.
Anima should jump in here and do it for me, if she's up to it. I will tell you tonight, I'm going to be on that 70s rock fan show. We're going to be talking about a classic fucking movie.
Yes.
Towering Inferno. And it'll be on at 2:00 his time. I think he's Eastern, so 3:00 my time. I'm not sure. Let me double check on that. 2 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah. Or as my stepdaughter would say, 2 p.m. specific time. And she did it on purpose just to annoy me. So that'll be Pacific time. Okay. So that's 2, 3, 4. 4 o'clock my time. Our time. Keith and I are pretty much living in the same area now. So I'm in like jumping distance of Keith. And I'm really wanting us to hang out soon. Johnny Depp to direct, first movie in 25 years, Al Pacino to produce, Hollywood Reporter exclusive. Now that story, I believe. Let's see. I don't know who that is. I got to go to Facebook to see who that is. Going to Facebook. It could be Stephanie. But I will find out in a second when I go to our show. Oh, it's Flash Dixon. That is Flash and Scott Lewis. Flash and Scott Lewis.
Hi, guys.
Watching the show on Facebook. Good
Batman
morning.
and Scott Lewis.
I really do hate that StreamYard does not show us their names. I think that's so stupid. It tells us down below, can't post comments to some destination. That's fine. But at least tell us who the fuck it is, StreamYard. As much as we pay you. They made a fortune off of us.
I know.
She's using ignorance. And she's responding to Martin, not me. What? Are you talking to me in private chat? Because I swear to God, you better talk to me instead of talking to Martin. Fuck you, Martin. You abandoning son of a bitch. I'm sorry, dude. I love you. Which one of you filthy sons of bitches can do it? Who can handle our chat? I challenge you. So, there she's messaging me now. Oh God, will it be mean? Will it be nice? I don't know. It's such a mystery. I'm excited. Dude, I'm talking to both of you, okay? She called me dude. I irritated her last night. It was funny when I was talking to her. I asked her for the show, I'd like to record her doing all of Arnold's lines, the famous lines. She's like, she got almost mad at me. No. She just called me a jerk in private. She's so awesome. Monkey Jeebus is here. How you doing, buddy? I was talking about you yesterday. I think, because I meet a lot of you guys, but I really enjoyed meeting Monkey Jeebus. He was talking to him in private was such a surprise because, he's such an asshole in the chat. But when you get him in private, man, he's still an asshole, but he's very entertaining and he's very knowledgeable. Knows his shit. Love you, Monkey Jeebus. Good dude, man. A really good dude.
Das Wolfen.
Das Wolfen, do you know how to do it? You don't have access. To what? To me? Let's see. The next Bond movie still has a deal with Universal Pictures. So won't be. Yeah.
And wasn't that whole thing also bought out by Amazon?
Yeah,
Bond should be locked up with Amazon.
Here it is. This is where I stand. I don't think Henry Cavill's got it. He had a chance, but once they were bought, it's over. Amazon doesn't want Henry Cavill. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm going to tell you it's a clusterfuck, and I have zero interest in what they're going to do with Bond. I don't care.
Yeah.
My interest in Bond is now back to classic films and the books. Get to the chopper, Bill.
Unless they're going to take our
son of a bitch
and do the other books, the John Gardner books, which there's so much material per book. You can't really change too much because John Gardner wrote a lot of material. So
I'm sorry, this is great. Comment. They're going to start that back up again. Keith's just playing hard to get. They just got to get the schedule going again.
Yeah.
I'm pulling my hair back because it's starting to bug me. Who is that? Let's see who that is. That's Stephanie Beatty. Good morning, Stephanie. It's not letting me. There we go. There. I liked your comment. I was not interested in that fucking show. I really wasn't. James Bond Jr. I've never watched it. Yeah. Arr, Letty. I need a parrot. It'll see me through. Arr.
And I often would wonder, like an idiot, James Bond Jr. So Bond's supposed to be his nephew. So what? I mean,
I never did understand that.
He's an only child. So are we talking Blofeld's son?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's weird. It's just weird. And of course, whenever I say pirates, I need to play this.
Pirates as an arg?
If you want me to send you the link, I can send you the link to join us.
Yeah, just go ahead. John, you should just jump on. Go ahead and join us.
I got to find his link. There he is. All right. I'm going to send you the invite if you're going to join us over on Facebook. There we go. Boom. So, man, sorry, I just got a private message. It's very distressing. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I got to take my mind off of it. Greetings, John. So if you're going to run chat, go ahead and run chat for me.
Looking good, buddy.
You look okay.
Hello.
You're all right.
I got a cat just like that someplace.
Hey, I can hear your TV behind you, John. There you go. There you go.
Well, it doesn't give me permission to do anything.
So
I meant So I meant I don't have access.
Yeah, I have to turn it over to you, and I can't do that because right now it's I've given complete admin privs to Martina Costa Santana. Martin. So yeah, I'm just sort of boned.
You know what? Go ahead and sit in with us.
Just sit in with us. Yeah, fuck it. We'll have some fun. We'll talk about. Oh, what the fuck? Oh man, that scowl. So basically, we can talk about that. I also wanted to talk about the Green Lantern, as well as Zack Snyder says that Black Adam is in his universe. So
yeah, that's because Dwayne Johnson's probably been messaging him privately.
Oh, I guarantee you they've been in contact this whole time.
Yeah.
That they've been talking like best bros, like, hey man, how you doing? We need to hang out. Sure, man. You know.
They both like to what kind of weights do you use? How often? How many reps? How many? I mean, come on.
Well, Zack Snyder was probably looking at it as if Zaslav wouldn't have backed him so quick as making it a backdoor way into.
Don't bring up backdoor. Why would you do that? Now you're gonna get him started.
as a sneaky way to bring back the Snyderverse.
There's no sneaking about it.
Well, they're bringing it back.
Full
force.
Zaslav talked about that during that interview he did for the Hollywood Reporter over a year ago.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, again, a year ago, when Batgirl went into production, you knew what Zaslav was wanting, and you spent that money anyway. So
see, I told you. Why did you do it? Why, sorry. John? Why, motherfucker? All thanks to Polly at Latino Slant for starting that shit. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, we're on behind you. We can actually see us behind you.
Yeah,
you know that, John.
Yeah, I forgot to turn off
the like
TV.
The news when you see the TVs in the background slightly blurred. What I really enjoyed is one of the local networks for Keith and I. They were somebody had on the TV, like they were watching TikTok memes, and it was on the news while we're watching it. Like it was really funny to me because you could see the TikTok memes, and I'm like, holy shit! Like how is this getting through? Isn't there a director in like the room like watching?
Going, hey,
somebody tell that guy to get off TikTok.
And,
he's playing Galaga. I saw him right there.
I was gonna just say that.
Right there you go. It's like when your computer faces the news cameras, you should not be fucking around. You are going to get caught. That's just sort of like someone who doesn't know how to fuck off properly.
Yeah, there was somebody watching porn.
I've never had that happen, but boy, I bet you if that did. Hold on. What's this? I just got something from Syl Abdul. An update on your report. Thanks again for letting us know. Our investigation found this account violated Twitter rules. Chris Wozniak, Batman Gates. I wonder what that's about. The loser account was impersonating the actual Batman Gate. So let me share that real quick. This is what he just said. What are you pointing at?
Oh, that's for Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Oh, okay.
He said I'm Alliance, not Horde, and I went, yep.
I'm going to share this image real quick from Syl Abdul. There you go. An update on your report, because he reported this guy for impersonating Batman Gate. I mean, I add an S to the end of it is all he did. What a piece of crap. I got attacked this morning. It's really funny. And like a bunch of people came to my defense on my personal account because I called somebody out on a stupid remark about science. And the guy says, because my private account, I don't give a shit if people follow me. I have like 21 people on my personal account. And guy says, oh, commenting on this, and you only got 21 people. I said, yeah, but I'm college educated. Are you saying that my knowledge is only important if I've got a lot of followers? I mean, that's really fucking stupid. And I can science around you all day long, because anybody who doesn't understand the difference between why you're seeing massive, because you have the cold climate that's going on. It's been good years, and it started in Eastern Europe through the socialist groups, and it came up from there, and it is purely for the means of controlling the fossil fuel industry. That's what it's for. It's meant to put a chokehold on fossil fuels in order to control the global economy. And could you imagine socialists wanting to do that? Communists? Could you imagine it? That's all it is.
Who'd have thought?
And I pointed out, I said, look, no, climate change has been around for billions of fucking years. This Earth has gone through climate change since it started. But here's the thing. Since the beginning, there hit a point where something happened, and that's referred to as solar changes. And it's called the warming up and cooling down of the sun. And it goes through these natural phases. And it went through this for centuries. And every century we would have a mini ice age because of this cooling down period. This stopped for some fucking reason that scientists don't understand. And it's kind of terrifying that the sun says, you don't know me. You think you know me. You don't know me. In the 20th century, and we never got our mini ice age. Instead, we got El Nino. And El Nino fucked everything up. And so everything has been chaotic. Well, in comes this article that was written, a paper. It's not really an article. It's a paper done with research. And the climatologist that ran the magazine regretted publishing it because it's what led to this bullshit today. When one climatologist wrote this essay that said that if the mini ice age comes and there's concern over crops, etc., damage to the economy and our ability to feed all of our human life, what you would do, we could possibly alter the temperature by 3 degrees by increasing greenhouse gases. He says humans, it'd take a lot of work, and there's no guarantee it would work. And that was just the simple scientific fact. And to proclaim greenhouse gases the way they do is ridiculous. It doesn't fucking work that way. What we've got is the sun doing things that we don't fucking quite understand why it's changed its routine, but it did. And it's altered since El Nino back in the 90s. So there you go. Yes, climate change exists. It's a natural order, but its primary driving forces are how we sit on our axis, how far we are from the sun, and what the sun's doing, whether it's cooling down or heating up.
And I thought it was all the dinosaurs driving their SUVs.
Yeah, I know. 95 to 98% of climate is impacted by the sun. Listen to that. 95 to 98%. Very little is impacted by carbon emissions and fucking volcanoes, as somebody fucking said to me one time. Volcanoes? Like, are you fucking kidding me? So this guy went to attack me, and like a bunch of people jumped on there and says, you apparently didn't read what Gerry said. He exacts that climate change exists and has been here for us, impacting humans, and life really for millions of years. I'm not including the primordial period. So, anyway, oh, come on. Dino bones were put in the ground. Well, we now know that the fossil fuels aren't fossil fuels. It's a false name. And it also is saying that if it's not the dinosaurs and it's something else, is it renewable? And this is the thing they're trying to find out now, is that what we perceived as fossil fuels is something else. So therefore, is it possible that it's renewing itself? We don't know. And that's the research where it's going now. So, but I personally would prefer that we leave fossil fuels behind and go to something cleaner, just so we have cleaner air to breathe, for Christ's sake.
Magic.
You know? What's that?
Magic.
Magic.
I still want my nuclear powered car.
Well, that's what the belief is now. The current theory is that it is created, fossil fuels is not fossil fuels, but created by fauna of odd, you know, it's like, so the research is ongoing. Yeah, he has 3,000 followers. You know, what started the whole thing, Keith, you'll die. As I said, I was posting on someone's, or commenting on someone's post, and I said, Amber Heard's turds are causing greenhouse gases and killing us all. I said, we need to start this as a thing. Hashtag Amber Turds greenhouse gases.
You know, here's the thing. Who's going to want to date her? What guy is going to want to get mixed up with her? I'm sure. Look, there are guys out there that'll definitely, you know, for the sex, but who's going to want a relationship with her? Because you know what you're going to get. You know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And now I got to point this out. That what did I say to you a few weeks ago? I said, yeah, her career is done, except in porn. And what happens? She got a fucking offer, and it was made public.
Everybody. But yeah, she might as well take it. Heck, she might even get an OnlyFans.
There's actually, by the way, on Netflix, I'll find it now. I'll share it on Twitter for you guys. There's a documentary about nuclear energy that shows that so many people use the wrong kind of nuclear energy when we should be using this other one, because it's a little more complicated to make, but it's safer. Whereas the energy that we currently use a lot of the time is not. And it's not that the energy isn't safe, it's that the production of it is dangerous. And it's a very interesting documentary, and I forget the name of it. I'll find it, and I'll share it on Twitter for you guys. Oh, Natasha's here. You can't polish turds.
Actually, they proved you can on Mythbusters.
Mighty Max is here. Good morning, Natasha.
It was fossilized turds, but
well, of course, yes.
Let's see who else is here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody.
You know,
right, okay.
Amber could probably get her own YouTube channel. Probably go a lot further than a certain actress playing Captain Marvel right now.
Yeah, Brie Larson. Nobody fucking watches her channel.
That's pretty much gone, I think.
She made the same mistake that CBS made when they put crap Star Trek or Star Trek on CBS. When they put it for public viewing, we were able to see the ratings. They couldn't hide it behind a paywall anymore. And so when she got her little fucking YouTube channel, and it was like, oh, look at other people. And then like all the hate. It's like, you were asking for it, you know? And what was it? Tom posted last night about people complaining about this League show or whatever. It's like somebody complained on Twitter. It's like, you know, all these trolls. And I said, it's only called trolls or trolling when it hurts your fucking feelings. I noticed that the minute it hurts your feelings, suddenly it's trolling. Nobody has a legitimate fucking gripe. You know, I love the way they love to dismiss. And Natasha, you are wonderful. Natasha, of course, is from Midnight's Edge. We met her through Tom and Andre. And we love you, Natasha. You're such a sweetheart. Kingsport Cal, awesome one. I want to make sure. Did I say good morning, Kingsport Cal?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure. I hate it when I miss it. Awesome one. Good morning, my friend. Yeah, yeah. If you're a good-looking guy, you're not a creep. But if you're not so good-looking, kind of slimy, suddenly you're a creep for looking or flirting. You know, just fucking people, man. I fucking hate people who are assholes. I'm a dick. There's a world of difference. I get called an asshole. I'm like, no, contraire, mon frere. I'm a dick. I'm very dickish. I say things that are, I shoot from the hip, and I'm kind of mean with my humor. That's why you're a creep, Mr. Tickle Trunk. That's what. And the Marshal, you're only a jerk because you're from Croatia. That's why. Croats are jerks. I got to chat with him. I had such a good time chatting with him, man. I'm like, the Marshal, I fucking get that guy. I really do. I like him. Racism. I'm so sorry. I had no idea that we had hired a racist. No, it's not Ron. Ron Jeremy could grow a fucking mustache. This is my fucking Irish side. My dad used to say that, it was the Indian side, but we only have 1% Chippewa, Ojibwe. So my thin hair, my thin mustache and goatee is because of the fucking Celtic side. Fucking hairless fucking Irishman. And I'm Black Irish, which means that I have, I know.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. It's actually not from the Moors. Now that's the Sicilians and Italians, because they were invaded by the Moors, and the Moors took their women and they darkened up the culture a little bit. And that was like one of my favorite moments in True Romance when what's his name? His dad is with Chris Walken. He says, "You're part Sicilian," and then goes into that thing. Uses that slang term eggplant, which I think is vulgar, but I still just thought what he wanted to make him kill him. That's what that was all about. And he just dug into him about something that they don't like talking about. And boy, Dennis Hopper, one of my favorite moments in all of his fucking history of films was that fucking scene. And it's one of the few times I absolutely say Quentin Tarantino knocked it out of the park with that script for that movie. He really did. It's absolutely the best thing he ever wrote. It is the best thing he ever wrote was True Romance. And if you've never seen that movie, skip the whole movie and go to that fucking scene where he's being worked over by Christopher Walken's guys. He says, "You're part of," and just lays out that whole thing, how the Moors invaded.
I was confused for a second because my brain said True Lies. And I'm like,
no, not True Lies.
Yeah,
True Romance.
Yeah.
What's this? Gerry looks like a fave redhead. I used to know. Now, Gandolfini's great. I love Gandolfini. God, we lost a great actor with that dude.
Yeah,
one of my favorites.
Way too much like him.
But Aaron Ratliff, I'm fat. I sweat like ham roasting over a barbecue pit, and I look like I fell out of the top of an ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down when I try to flirt with girls. Just scream and run.
Well, screaming and running is better than outright laughing.
Hold on a second. All right, I was just messaging someone. There we go. They're watching the show right now and asked me a question. But I got White Boy Month. What was that? White Boy Month. White History Month. Pretty much all of history in the Western world. And you know what? If you because like I tell Keith all the time, I dislike the concept of Black History Month because every month should be Black History Month. It's a part of our fucking culture. It's integrated in a way that you can't separate it. It is bonded with the United States and North America. And so therefore just relegating it to 1 month. And I think, Morgan Freeman said that too once. And I was like, so grateful that he stood up and said that it should always, every day is Black History Day. You know, and if you don't spend time learning about American Black history, you're not learning about American history.
Yeah, there's some idiot online that said European history was too white.
No, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. Yeah, I can do yokel. I can do several kinds of yokel. I can do from Virginia, where they all talk like, "Hey, boy, what are you doing?" to Oklahoma. It's like, let me remember the Oklahoma accent because it's so fucking cool when he does it. And I kind of do an impression of a friend of mine when I do it. It's shit, boy, you couldn't get no toilet or ass off a toilet seat. That's Oklahoma. And that was said to me by a friend of mine because, like, my buddy said, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Going out on a date." He says, "I'm going to get you some ass tonight." And my buddy from Oklahoma goes, "Shit, he couldn't get no ass off a toilet seat." Best burn ever. I just sort of stood there like, what did I do to you guys?
Hey, guys are always shitting on each other. That's part of being a
I
guy
know.
grown up.
That's the friendship thing. But I told him, I said, that's the best burn I think I've ever heard, and absolutely will probably be the best burn for forever.
Well, that's when you turn around and going, "I'm stealing that."
Yeah. Let's see. I don't get me doing on a Tennessee accent. Don't get me going on doing a Tennessee accent. That's not how I sound. I think I'm Oklahoma.
Get me going.
Oklahoma's like, they're kind of slow, and they talk like this way. The ones that I know, they talk right through their jaw. And they're like,
isn't that because they usually have dip in their mouth?
Well, that's like my buddy from Texarkana. Even when he didn't have dip, sounded like he had dip. Isn't it Gerry? And it wasn't Gerry. It was like a mixture of Gerry and Gerry together. It was like Gerry. And oh man, I fucked with that guy so much. He was in my unit, and he was in my squad, in fact. And I put him on detail every weekend. He said, "Why you always put me on detail, Gerry?" I said, "Because you're the only guy that I can trust to get it done, man. I can't. Nobody else in this unit. They're all fuck Joe, man. You're the guy, and that's why I always turn to you." And he's like, "Okay." And he went and did all those things. And I walked away, and Kyle Fisher, my buddy from New Orleans, goes, "I can't believe he bought all that bullshit." He just doing him because I just like doing it to him. I thought it was funny that I put him on detail every weekend. He lost the day because we had 3-day weekend. Friday, once you were done, and you were free to go. And we would head into town, get fucked up, and he'd be stuck at the post until Saturday morning when he finishes detail, and then could join us. And I don't know why I'm a complete dick, dude. I do things just to fuck with people. Let's see. I missed something here. Natasha, I forget where you're from. I think you're from one of the Scandinavian countries, as I recall. Either up there in Norway, Denmark, I'm not sure. Drugs move so fast, it's not worth the effort. I lived in Springfield, Virginia. I know where that is. And Dahlgren, hell yeah, I know where all that is. Springfield, Virginia is where it's right outside Alexandria, and that's where the big mall is, and that's where Steve Niles and I used to shop. A lot of people don't know that we were both in punk bands at the same time, and we found this out in a conversation once. Like, holy shit, we know some of the same people, shopped at the same record store at Springfield Mall, and it's just bought comics from the same shops. I thought that was so weird, and we don't knowingly have ever met. We're not sure. We may have met and just don't know. And I always thought that was weird because there's no way we were doing the shopping at the same places around the same time that we didn't meet. Amsterdam.
Why does every state have a Springfield?
I know that that's a truism. I don't know if it's actually fact.
I think there's only a Springfield in 36 states.
Oh, only
yeah, I don't
36?
think every state, because I don't think there's a Springfield, Alaska, or Hawaii.
Yeah, okay.
But and I don't think there's a Springfield, Arizona either. Amsterdam. VA repping. All right. So Springfield Mall, let's go. We went there a lot, especially I think Universe Comics. Yep. They also had this really big bookstore I liked going to. I'm not sure if it was Logos or Little Professor. I really liked it. That's it. And there was another mall that they built between Woodbridge and Fredericksburg. I would frequent that bookstore too. And I'm not sure. I think that was the one where I went to find out what the fuck my son was talking about when he was 7. And he didn't want to go play baseball with his uncle and me. And he's like, no, that's okay. I'm going to stay home and finish my Anne McCaffrey book. I went, oh, okay. And I walked out going, who the fuck is Anne McCaffrey? Then I go to the bookstore and I find out it's in adult fiction, fantasy. And I'm like, my 7-year-old son is fucking reading this book. That's how smart he is. Fucking reading. It was Dragon Riders of Pern. And I read that book and I'm like, garbage. I fucking hated it. But my son fucking loved Anne McCaffrey, man.
Interesting concept, but I always felt it was overrated.
Let's see, what is this? Oh, I love Journey to the Far Side of the Sun. Absolutely a great film. Oh, we lost Keith. That film had, I forget his name. Hold on. It had Roy Thinnes in it, or Thinnes, from The Invaders, one of my favorite TV shows. That was a great show. But I do want to get into one more thing, and I'm hoping he shows back up because this was absolutely a Keith thing. It said something in private. No, Mighty Max is new, but their first time he appeared was the other day, and so I greeted him already for that. John was messaging me privately. Yeah, I don't know what the attraction was, but yeah, it was a Jerry Anderson production, that film. And Roy Thinnes was really good in that film. I like that film. I own the film. I have a copy of that film.
I don't think I've seen that for years.
It is great. Does it? Let me check. It's part of Chandler. Yeah, it's a neighborhood. So technically, Arizona has a Springfield, but it's not really a legitimate town. And I spent a lot of time where that is. Chandler. That's where, wait, was it Chandler, Arizona? Snoopy's brother was from there, his cousin, whoever it was, in the Peanuts comic strip.
The Snoopy with the mustache.
Yeah, the Snoopy with his mustache. I think he was from that area. Gerry, it's finally been confirmed by Nexstar themselves that they will be acquiring the CW with 75% interest, while Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount will retain 12.5%. That's interesting. They will continue to produce content. Is Nexstar any good? Is it any good? Because if they don't put out quality entertainment, I don't give a shit. Oh, Virginia. Gilbert is definitely, because I lived in Gilbert. My sister's in Gilbert. When I was a kid, Gilbert was just a fucking dirt road. And it was a bunch of fucking ranches. That's it. It was desert and cattle ranches. and something happened there, man. And it is one of the wealthiest parts of the Metro Phoenix now. Gilbert had all the money is in Gilbert. And they also have two of my favorite Mexican restaurants. Absolutely really good traditional Mexican food down there.
You need to come to Sedalia and try El Tapatio.
Why?
Because it's a really good Mexican restaurant.
You know that one we have in Springfield that brags about everything with enchilada style. Like, I'm like, worst Mexican restaurant ever. They had like 3 of them in town, and I'm like, I ate it once, and I'm like, this is terrible. I asked them, do you have a chimichanga? And they're like, no, only enchilada style. And I'm like, then you're not a real Mexican restaurant. And then I found out, no, they're all, they went down, they saw these recipes, and decided to go back to Missouri and make Missouri, as they say, Missouri, and make themselves a Mexican restaurant with nothing but enchilada style food. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks. Enchiladas are not my favorite. Enchilada. He got a third one. What, nipple? He got a third one. Nipple? Bill Barkley says, yup, third nipple. Marshall says he did not know that he had a third nipple. Oh, man. But awesome one. Yeah, when were you in Virginia? Because, man, I loved a lot of the stuff we had in Virginia growing up, man. A lot of good stuff. But the good comic stores were out of Fredericksburg area. You had to go up towards Springfield to find good comics. Oh, Third Eye. Yeah, I'm third eye blind.
Ba-dum-bum.
A lot of people don't know that that's what that song means, or maybe that band's name means. There he is, Gerry. We are. We're back in black.
Hey.
Welcome back, Keith.
Hey,
Hi,
hey.
Keith. Hey, Keith. How you doing, buddy?
What happened?
I don't know. You left. I was like talking, and you went boop.
Yeah, it's my internet just went poof.
Oh shit! Is he really? If that's yeah, CW's fucked. If Mark Pedowitz is going to remain fucking head of CW, then they're screwed. I cannot believe that. But if Zaslav doesn't have control of it, they're not going to change. But he's going to gank all the fucking DC stuff.
Oh no. Warner Brothers is completely divested from CW. So
Good.
Whoever they got heading it up, that's not about any decisions that Warner Brothers making.
Yeah, that's
They
what
are
he was talking
completely
about.
divested.
You were gone, and that's what he was talking about. Was that here? I'll go back up to it. See if I can find it again.
That Warner Brothers and Paramount both had 12.5% interest, and Nexstar has 75%.
Yep, here it is, right here. Read that. Gerry, it's finally been confirmed by Nexstar themselves that they will be acquiring the CW with 75% interest, while Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount will retain 12.5 each. They will continue to produce content.
Well, that's because they're going to get paid for it, in a way.
So, what I don't know what this means. I'm going to have to talk to Mikey about this. What does this mean for their content?
Well, you look, it's the same thing with Hulu. And again, people keep sleeping on that Hulu story about Disney. Disney has a bill coming due real soon. They need to come up with a lot of money because as part of that contract for when they took over Fox, in agreement with I think it's Universal, they made a promise that by 2024 that they would buy out the rest of the outstanding shares from Universal. They need to come up with a lot of money to buy that stuff.
Yeah, they do.
That's the other reason why they're having to make all these cuts and
changes.
That's
why the rumor came out that they want to bring the Orville over to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
and because it is a hit show, the season was not as good as last season, to be honest with you. It really wasn't. The first 2 episodes were, but I found that it kind of collapsed in on itself during the season. And I think the problem is Seth MacFarlane wrote all the scripts, and I don't think he's as good a writer as he thinks he is.
Well, he's also distracted. Remember, he signed that deal with Universal. He's got a first look deal with them. So no matter what happens to the Orville, and it's looking more and more like Disney's going to start flexing their muscles and giving their opinions, he's got a backdoor. Sorry.
No, you motherfucker. God damn it.
He's got an exit to get out of that if Disney starts to make demands. He can leave.
So we will get into this in a second.
Everybody else.
Hold on, Keith. Yes. Arrowverse is ending with this final season of The Flash. It's over. They're going to reboot. I don't know how they're going to reboot it, but if Zaslav is in charge of what they're going to be doing, it's going to be very different from what they were producing. And my hope is that Alan Horn whispered into his ear that Greg Berlanti is not your fucking friend to Dave. Because David Zaslav has to get rid of Berlanti. Berlanti is the last fucking problem child. He was at the kiddie clown table. He wasn't part of the big clown table. He was, at Thanksgiving you get the kiddie table. He was at the kiddie table.
He was invited in to help. He should have, look, if Green Lantern had actually been successful, Berlanti's career over the last couple of years would have been different. It wasn't, and it was not a good experience. So he took advantage of the one thing he could by just doing all that television stuff. And he thought he was going to be slick and try to get away with doing all of these characters and stuff that, at least for the people that were running Warner Brothers, this is under Kevin Tsujihara and Toby Emmerich, he was going to try to be all slick and try to use all these characters they weren't interested in. Because when he first started, there was no real interest in Green Arrow and as big an interest in The Flash and a few others. And what Zaslav is wanting to do is he wants an entire DC universe where everything fits together. So there's no room to make stuff that's not in lockstep with what the movies and television shows should be, kind of like the way they do it with the best of the MCU. That's the reason why. That's the reason why the Batman universe is still one of those things where you got people talking about, well, they still haven't made a deal to do the Batman 2. Well, yeah, it's on the fence for a reason. It's outside of everything. And they have to make a decision as to whether or not they want to go down that road of having a full DC universe with Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Dwayne Johnson, and all of those heroes. Oh, and then allow Robert Pattinson and his people over here to have their own slice of that universe.
Yeah, exactly. And so, let's travel back to these things here because I want to go back over them. With Ben Affleck, Syl Abdul scooped this rumor. I'll go ahead and read it real quick. Just Ben Affleck will shoot additional scenes in The Flash, according to a new rumor from YouTube personality Syl Abdul. I love how he says personality now. Syl's like a close friend of ours. Ben Affleck will add more Batman to his schedule. On July 28th, I reported Abdul's last Ben Affleck scoop. He leaked that Aquaman sequel added Affleck replacing Michael Keaton, which I said at the time, if you're going to replace him in one place, it's illogical not to replace him in the other.
Yep.
Logic dictates, as Spock would say, logic dictates that if you do it in one place, you have to do it in the other. And we couldn't get a confirmation. I said, it's happening. I guarantee it. If it's happening here, it's happening here.
And to key off what you just said, all you people who keep arguing about, well, then they have to have it. adding more Ben Affleck then really drives the point home that there is no place for Batgirl in this universe the way that Hamada was originally wanting to use her. All of that footage they shot, that entire movie is now useless. It's just useless. That's it.
Exactly.
It's not any harder to understand than that.
And I understand, it's not right in so many ways that she was made promises by Warner Brother. And if there is any truth to these rumors, it is the fact that I believe that Michael Keaton in particular is owed something.
Yes.
Because being replaced is, and I believe that the answer to that is Batman Beyond for Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How long have we been fucking talking about that? Like for forever.
Yes.
Oh man, I hope they bring Michael Keaton back for that. They actually have somebody who could do it.
You know what? Here's the thing. You announce a Batman Beyond movie with Michael Keaton. They don't care who else you cast. That movie's already pre-sold. Every Warner Brothers fan will lose their mind. Every comic book fan will lose their mind. And Walter Hamada went, I don't think anybody would be really interested in that. Are you kidding me? What drugs are you taking?
Exactly. And so I'm going to go back to this rumor. And this was, of course, Mikey Sutton and Joy Lynn Francisco wrote this article together. That director Zack Snyder can see The Rock's Black Adam in his universe, as some fans still express concern over comedic scenes in the Black Adam trailer. One person, I don't think they're comedic. I think they're just funny. There's even humor in Zack Snyder's universe. It's usually like delivered in a way that it's not super funny. It's just like amusing. It's like, ha. So I think he'd work just fine. Black Adam needs to be a serious character taken seriously. And I think that Zack Snyder, the one thing he brings that I think benefits things for all DC fans is he brings the serious. And the DC universe should always be heavier and darker than Marvel. Marvel was always the lighter comic books. DC was always the dark comics, more serious subjects, less silliness with their characters.
Since the 70s.
Well, I mean, before that, you had Batmite and all that shit, but they went through some goofy shit with Batman because of the TV series. Yeah. And I don't blame the TV series. I love the show. I get what they were doing. I forget his name. He lost internet again. Dozier really had some great ideas with that Batman, and it's a great nod to the 50s and original serials of Batman. That's really what that show was a nod to those shows. But they put they firmly planted their tongue right in their cheek with that show. One of my favorite lines to this day is from the Batman movie when the Admiral gives him all this information about the submarine, and he says, "Do you have a name?" And the Admiral pulls out a Rolodex and starts flipping through cards, and he says, "We sold it to a Mr. P.E. Gwynn." Batman covers the phone and looks over at Robin. He goes, P.E. Gwynn. Robin goes, Penguin. I laughed so hard at that scene.
Really, Admiral.
Really, Admiral. Selling a pre-nuclear submarine to someone with only a post office box. Good day, sir. What a fucking movie. But he's playing tiddlywinks. And when the phone rings and she says it's Batman, he suddenly scoops all the tiddlywink stuff off the desk and then answers the phone. I'm just like, oh my God, what a dig at the Pentagon and the Navy. That was so fucking funny.
Well, I guess that means the only movies.
Syl keeps telling you to slap me. I love Syl Abdul. I really do. I put the show Scoop Zone on hiatus right now because things are falling apart. 24/7 is not available yet. And it was just Syl and me most of the time. Keith wasn't able to make it sometimes. Arwen wasn't there. And as much as I love doing a show with Syl, I felt like that dynamic we had, it just wasn't there. So either we're going to wait until everybody's back together, or we're going to form it in a different way. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. Because Scoop Zone, I love doing the Scoop Zone, because all we're doing is just talking about these scoops by Mikey Sutton and, how to interpret them. And Syl himself is a scooper now. He's really doing a major job. He's done something that I haven't tried to do, which is I don't like Hollywood. It's a known fact. I have a lot of actor and filmmaker friends, and I could probably network in and through them. But I got to be honest, man. I've never been interested in being a scoop guy. Oh, I do not think this is me on my phone, and I have strong signal. I think I was kicked. No, you weren't, Keith. I don't know who's kicking him. He said he thinks he was kicked because he had a strong signal. Keith is talking to me.
No, I haven't touched anything.
What I do know is that right before he got kicked, I heard something through my headset that sounded like a sudden stop. There was a sudden stop sound that you hear digitally, and that's what it sounded like. It sounded like there was that. It just like a sound. Look, animated DC movies though were really good for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometime after, the last good one for me, it's not true, because I really liked Assault on Arkham. Yeah. And then the only good film after that was the Superman one.
All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman. I thought that was really well done. I didn't like the new animation that they were doing with Batman. I didn't like some of the shit they were throwing in with Batman. And I didn't like the plots. I had a problem every single animated film. And in particular, I despised Gotham by Gaslight.
Oh, yeah, that was poorly done.
It was garbage. Absolute garbage. That's not the graphic novel.
No, that's one of my favorite Elseworlds is Gotham by Gaslight.
Absolutely.
Mucked it up.
Mike Mignola's use of Boris Karloff as Jack the Ripper was just beautifully drawn. I fucking love that book. It's one of my favorite graphic novels. And anyway.
Yeah, well, I watched the new Green Lantern one.
Well, the Green Lantern, this is what I'm going to read. I'm going to read this now. HBO Max's Green Lantern series could connect to the DCEU, written by Edwin Francisco and Mikey Sutton. Greg Berlanti's live-action Green Lantern series might connect to the DCEU. Green Lantern lands on HBO Max in 2024, at least for now. There are rumors it may get ganked too. While Warner Brothers Discovery canceled some of the DC projects, this show will not be among them. So it looks like it's going ahead. DC fans have been concerned with shelved projects. When the studio hit the brakes on Batgirl, it stunned Hollywood. Gosh, Hollywood was stunned. In fact, the news shocked the crew themselves. This is because the film finished its shoot. Moreover, it was already going through post-production. It had cost $90 million. Officially, the company, and like I said, that was the time to cancel it because everything's a tax write-off this month or this last month. Now it's, they can't really cancel anything. So officially, the company said that the cancellation was because of the movie's quality or lack thereof. In addition, the studio, and Keith saw some of the footage, and it's clear why the film was canceled. Batgirl was in a position to be a TV movie since it was scheduled for HBO Max. Nevertheless, sources revealed that Warner Brothers Discovery also axed it because Batgirl follows the Flashpoint timeline. In other words, Batgirl continues the post-Flash DCEU reboot, Hamadaverse. And the current Warner Brothers Discovery abandoned that completely. Thus, the Supergirl movie met the same fate, obviously. Blue Beetle, which isn't directly connected to the narrative, remains alive at this point. It is still on track for a 2023 release, which I'm looking forward to that. Blue Beetle didn't rely on the events of The Flash. After all, former DC Films president Walter Hamada targeted Sasha Calais' Supergirl to replace Henry Cavill's Superman. Just one stupid decision after another with these guys. I swear to God, they sign their own death warrants. On the other hand, Green Lantern doesn't push the Flashpoint timeline either. As a matter of fact, it stands on its own. It's not even part of the dying Arrowverse, but insiders revealed that Green Lantern could be attached to the DCEU going forward. And I think that's a smart move. Green Lantern will show various Green Lanterns in different timelines featuring Guy Gardner, Alan Scott, Simon Baz, and Jessica Cruz. Interestingly, this is a Greg Berlanti production. Fans know Berlanti as the one who made the Arrowverse. And I will tell you, when he is told what to do, he gets the job done right. Superman and Lois is proof that when he's told to fucking stop fucking around and make a show that fans will like, he shuts the fuck up about his agenda and starts making a good show. Even though I've had problems with this last season.
Yeah.
First season was amazing. Season 2 had some problems, but I felt in the end it was still a very good show. Lee Tulin Krieger will direct the first episode of Green Lantern. Currently, he's filming another DC project called Dead Boy Detectives, which is a spinoff from Doom Patrol. And I think Doom Patrol worked because it's its own little world. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav is trying to focus on reestablishing the DCEU, which is the Snyder version. And he even says it here. This involves continuing the Snyderverse timeline. Will Green Lantern be part of this? It could be the reason why it's still alive. And I absolutely predict it will be. I predict that David Zaslav's push is to make everything part of the current plan of Snyderverse. And then when the Snyderverse is done, when Zack is done, they will continue the timeline, but it's not going to be so much the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the continuation of those characters that Snyder helped bring about. And I do love that, by the way. I'm going to shut that down now, that Syl keeps telling Penny to slap me. I love Syl. You can tell, like, our last episode of the Scoop Zone we did together, we were having fun. I love talking to him. He is really top notch. And if you don't watch his Scoop Center over on his channel, go check it out. It's a good show. He really knows what he's doing. And that's why he is such a valued member of the Scoop Zone. And whatever version we do of Scoop Zone, I'm pulling a David Zaslav and rethinking how we did the show. And I want to make it to where we can do this properly, because we are guys that I don't get invited on a lot of shows, which I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because I am a dick. I don't know. I know Tom invites me on Midnight Sage every once in a while, but I think people are kind of afraid of me because of the things I say. I don't know. Because I'm notoriously, because everybody knows me. They just don't invite me on their shows that often. Polly does every once in a while, but I think Polly and Keith have a better dynamic than I have with anybody else. Keith and I have a great dynamic, and I sometimes think that probably, other than Keith, I probably should just do shows by myself and just have friends on, because I do shows a certain way, and I am outspoken, and I don't give two fucks if anybody agrees with me. I don't. Because, when I give my opinion, it's an educated opinion. It's not just like some of those shows that I'm not going to say the names of, where people just like, I'm going to talk about things, and I don't like this, I don't like that, and all they're doing is doing this. And it's like, well, how do you know that? How do you know that? Where's your proof in the pudding? You've got to have proof in the pudding. And one thing Keith and I do, we always have proof in the pudding. Would you not agree with that, John?
Got to have the receipts.
Yeah. I work in comic industry and the film industry. I know a lot of people in both of them. I've worked with a lot of people, and I know who the assholes are. Not the dicks. The dicks are cool. Assholes. Because I called Sandy Calora a dick on our show one time, and he was like, wait, what? And I explained to him, a dick is a person who shoots from the hip. He doesn't put up with other people's stuff, and he tells the truth as he sees it. And he's blunt. He's honest. Not always right. He's right because, if you're honest and truthful, you're right to some point. Always. You're always right to some point. But it's often to just your perspective. And it's, and that's the way it is with me. 50% of the time, I think that when I'm giving my personal instead of my professional opinion, I understand. That's just the way I see things. I think that I'm right. I believe that I'm right, but I'm always open to the idea of somebody proving me wrong. And it's been done. Keith's even done it. Keith proved something to me one time, and I'm like, you know what? I do agree with that. But when it comes to like Bob Chapek, Keith did not. He did not fucking convince me. I've never trusted Bob Chapek. I watched the version you sent me, the opening scene. I just want to see the opening, and I will watch the rest of it when I have time. I'm not excited about watching the rest of it because I knew it was going to be crap because it's built off of the previous ending, and that ending to the previous film was dumb. It was so fucking bad.
The girl should have been shot.
Yeah, she should have been killed or eaten. That was actually the best suggestion, was that she be eaten by one of the dinosaurs she freed. That's irony. You got to if you're a good writer, you have to understand irony, because irony is an essential part of good storytelling. Deadline has a good piece on Next Star CW deal. Okay, I'm going to go check that out. I don't trust Deadline. I don't trust any of them, but I will read the article. Thanks, Wolverine. I appreciate it, buddy. Streamlabs crashing. This is StreamYard, not Streamlabs, but I'm going to tell you, I've really been tempted to go to Streamlabs or some of the other ones because I want to find a professional way to do this show to where we don't rely on any of these services. If I have to pay for the software, I would do it in a heartbeat, buy the software just so I can do our show without dealing with these sorry, assholes. Yeah, Syl's not dumb, Penny. No, he's a clever dude. I love him. Just let you know, Syl Abdul is a power to be reckoned with. He just needs to get more in the camera. He sits way back too far from the camera. And when I did the last episodes, I actually forced him to be closer to the camera through editing.
Somebody's phone's blowing up.
That's mine. Oh, there it is. Where the fuck's my phone? Oh, it's Keith. Keith is here. Yay!
Welcome back, Keith.
And once again, he's back in black. Yeah, I was
going to suggest using Zoom and using OBS to broadcast Zoom.
I have OBS, and I use OBS when I record our shows for Scoop Zone. Keith, Are you there? Keith, not hearing you, buddy.
Hello?
There you are. John touched the monkey. Oh, my God, that's great. Hey, John, you're on the show.
Before we begin, would you like to touch my monkey? Before we begin, would you like to touch my monkey?
Boy, the Gaten. Would you like to touch my monkey? But Syl Abdul,
I don't know where that thing's been.
Syl is a good friend of Keith and I, and we love Syl Abdul. And if you're not watching his show, you should be, because he's got great scoops. Mikey Sutton appears on there more than anywhere, even though we introduced the world to Mikey Sutton on this channel. It's our proud moment. Let's see, what is this? The Boys season 4 has now started production. Good, by Jonathan. 3 hours ago. I think that ran together. I'm not sure how to say that. The Boys creator Eric Kripke has revealed that production on season 4 has begun. Keith, you're breathing into the microphone, my friend. I'm really getting turned on. Please stop.
Sorry about that.
Hey, Zax.
Zax is here. Good morning, my friend. Wolverine says the average viewer age for the CW is 58 years old, but their shows skewed towards 30 years. Technically, their shows actually are geared towards teens. They write. That's where faux drama comes in. Faux drama is created for young people. Adults don't fucking like that shit, fake drama. We are really turned off by it.
That entire network.
Well, A&E did the same thing.
Yeah.
One of their number one shows they canceled because they wanted to get younger viewers, and they didn't get the younger viewers, and they canceled their best show. That's how stupid A&E is. That was, of course, the Western, modern Western series that went to Netflix.
Helen Wills?
No, the series. No, that's TM or AMC. No,
Oh,
A&E.
okay.
the modern Western with the Aussie playing the cowboy. It's got Lou Diamond Phillips. Great show. I can't Parker. Well, I can't remember. It's based on book series.
Longmire.
Yeah,
Longmire. Fucking great show. I love that series. But no, it was the same thing with A&E, dude. A&E, bulk of their fucking audience. Well, we need to get younger people, so we're going to cancel our number one fucking show.
Yeah.
Executives are fucking stupid a bulk of the time, and that's what I said to somebody today on Twitter. You know, I guess she's part of the Friday Night Tights. I'll never get invited on that show. I'm a dick. I don't think some people like me. I don't care. I have my own show, and I think I make people uncomfortable because I do. I shoot from the hip, and I don't give a shit if people like what I say. It's ruffled some people's feathers. I mean, I have had an absolute blowout fight with a dude on another person's show because I'm like, you invited me on the fucking show, and then you dismiss me while I'm on the show. Don't fucking do that. I'm your guest. You know, I don't give a shit if you agree with me or believe what I'm saying, but don't fucking dismiss me.
Yeah.
You know, that's just fucking rude.
It is.
And so, you know, and I just don't put up with people's shit. And so I think that some people are almost timid or afraid of me. And I don't care. I don't care. We get enough views on our show that I'm happy doing our shows. And I like doing this morning show because you guys are the best. And I shit you not, I love our fucking chat. And I love that it's slowly growing. And I've done everything I've ever done is by grassroots. I don't fucking promote or ad. I stopped using Google ads because I think it's just a waste of money because we don't get a dedicated audience through those ads.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get some numbers, but those people aren't the ones that want to stay. So, you know, word of mouth is how this show gets its audience.
You know, we should consider a celebration show for reaching the recent milestone.
No, we have to. I forgot because I got so caught up in the weekend drama. We passed 4,000 over the weekend, like I think Friday or Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And War Monkey was such a dick with what he said. He says, it's nothing. I would have been impressed if it was 4,001.
Actually, it's 4,030.
Yeah, so I mean, we kicked it. No, that's Lindsay. That's, you know, Keith will tell you, man. I will dig my spurs in with somebody. They'll challenge me, and then my eyes light up when I hear the challenge. I'm like, oh, a fight's coming. Yes, I get excited by those things. It's not really a fight. I look at it as a debate because I like debating. Yeah. But Keith and I are pretty much almost simpatico on everything. I think the only thing that I don't agree with him on originally was Bob Chapek, because I did not see him as a savior for Disney because I think he's too much of a company man, and he's afraid of things, and he's shown that fear. Now, agreed, Doomcock says that he did that as a strategy. I think it's a bad strategy to show weakness.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a bad strategy. Just fucking find out who it is. You hire spies is what you do. That's the smart way to do it, because every decision he made impacted the audience and fan base of everything, Star Wars to Marvel. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not. You're far from wrong. In fact, Chapek is in a way different circumstance than Zaslav. Zaslav is the guy who has all the power to do whatever he wants. He has no board to answer to. No one over him that gets to tell him what to do. If there's something wrong, he takes care of it right then and there. Chapek, on the other hand, he works for the board. And that's what a lot of people need to really understand. He's not making a lot of decisions on his own. He's fulfilling the will of the board. So people who speak out against him need to understand that it's not really so much one guy as it is the Disney board is who you're fighting. And what they're doing is they are infested with people who were brought in over years by Bob Iger. It isn't just firing one or two people and telling everybody else what to do at Disney. It's the fact that they are loaded down with a lot of recent college graduates and this is their first big thing that they've come into, and they got all these crazy, weird kind of, psycho left-wing ideas about entertainment. They are completely infested at Disney. It's going to take a while to get those people out.
It's intellectually devoid of being productive. And by the way, look, Don Eckert's in our chat.
Yeah.
Don Eckert says, two of the best TV shows ever, Super Freaking Natural and Blacklist. Yeah, completely agree. Blacklist is something that he just recently came to, and he's loving this show. He's been binging it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Supernatural, I think that it had some great seasons. I sort of stopped watching after a while because it hit a point with some of the storytelling. I didn't like it. But I did come back once for the Scooby-Doo episode.
Yes.
Because that just tickled my fucking fancy to a degree I can't even say publicly without being X-rated.
Well, Eric Kripke, the guy who's running The Boys right now.
By the way, hi, Don.
I think he checked out about 6 or 7 seasons before the show left the air. Yeah. So he was off doing other things. And I truly believe that he was really the geek heart of that show. That when he left, he took a lot of the geekiness of Supernatural with him. And he's put some of that energy into The Boys. But unlike Supernatural, The Boys is actually based on is based on a comic. So he has to basically walk a little bit of a tightrope. You're translating a comic, and you're also having to work out those things and adjust those things that may not translate very well, and replace it probably with your own humor or your own interpretation, whatever you want. And so it's a little different than creating your own show from the ground up, which is what Supernatural was.
Now, Supernatural went on about 3 seasons too long.
Well, and I got to tell you, look, I want to go into something else because the kid, whatever his name is, that from Supernatural, Jared Padalecki.
Oh,
Jensen
the one kid. He went to do Walker, Texas Ranger.
Jared Padalecki.
I tried. That's what I just said. Jared Pedal, whatever his name is. He what a garbage fucking show. Just absolute pure fucking mentally retarded garbage. It's just so fucking dumb. It's insulting to men, to fathers. It's just such a piece of shit show. I lost respect for him because of that show. I could not believe that he signed on to do that and be a producer on it and all that shit. It's an insult to the original series, which was not a great show because he can't act, but the original, what's his name? The martial artist, he can't act. He cannot act. But the show was at least respectful to law enforcement. You just made that noise again. It made that noise previously right before you got kicked. Whatever that pop noise was. That show needs to go away. Even on IMDb, it can't even reach a 6.
Wow.
Nobody fucking likes that show.
I refuse to watch it.
Because Walker, they just call it Walker, but it's clearly stolen from Walker, Texas Ranger.
Well, it's that mentality that you have right now in television, where you're adapting projects and IP that for a lot of these young 20-somethings was either something that was, quote unquote, in their minds, part of a golden age that I can't understand how they interpret that part of it. But it's a lot of, quote unquote, older IP. It's the same mentality that causes CBS to want to go, you know what, we should go ahead and remake Hawaii Five-0,
right?
Or Magnum PI, or don't get me started on that one.
Then we'll make Higgins.
Don't even get me started. So,
making Higgins a woman. That wasn't up. Oh, geez, God.
Yeah.
I loved it. I actually enjoyed TC and fucking I just forgot his name, Rick. I love their characters on the show. They were the only ones I enjoyed. The rest of it was it became the TC and Rick show for me. I could not stand watching that. And that kid's a good actor that plays Magnum. He's just not Magnum.
Yeah.
And Higgins as a woman was ridiculous. The whole love story thing was ridiculous. What's this? Hold on. Aaron says that sounded like his mic jack grounding. Is that what that's what I'm hearing? So yeah, just be careful, man, because you might cause a short and kick yourself. Let's see. And Eric Kripke did his 5-season arc for Supernatural, then left the show. He told the story he wanted to tell, but CW wanted to continue it, and it went on an additional 10 seasons. And I think actually it was around the 4th or 5th season is when I left. I really enjoyed the show, but it hit a point where I just like, that's it. I'm done with this show. They've told me everything I wanted to know about it.
I got to
Bill loves the new Magnum, which I don't know how. I really don't know how. It's terrible storytelling. They didn't follow anything correctly. They used elements from the original series and didn't go anywhere with it that it needed to go. They made a lot of mistakes. They also didn't make Magnum the strong character he needed to be that, Thomas Magnum was under Tom Selleck. And
well,
Tom
I mean,
Selleck,
they turned him into a guest in his own show.
Yeah, he's a guest on his own show. He's not the main character.
Yeah.
So I lost interest in it pretty quickly. But I stuck with it because I liked Rick and TC. I liked the actors, and I liked the way they played the characters. So I watched the show primarily for those two. It's sort of like how when Bruce Lee played Kato, and they brought Kato to China, which it has constantly been on the air ever since in China. People don't know that. But it's called the Kato Show there. So if you didn't know that, I thought that was interesting, a little bit of trivia that I learned because I love Hong Kong. Anyway, you can't replace Tom Selleck's mustache. You can't. Lindsay, the Cynical Geek, that's exactly... Okay, you guys are just talking amongst yourselves. Let me get to this. We are rounding off to the end of the show. We are at 1:47, and I have to end the show because I
ran out of coffee.
Well, I'm out of coffee. It's empty. And I have a meeting with Don Ecker. And in fact, I was going to say, Keith, why don't you join me with that one? Because I want to do a Bigfoot episode, and I wanted to have Don in there. So we're going to be, I want to, just really sit down and talk to him because it is the one cryptozoological creature I actually have faith is real. I don't have a lot of faith
legend around here.
Yeah, well, we have this. Yeah, we have skunk ape, Sasquatch, Bigfoot. We've got Bigfoot reports all over the country where there are massive forests. Where you have massive forests, we've seen activity and reports come in. Socks, thanks a lot, my friend. I appreciate it, buddy. Wait, Don says, I love the original Magnum, Selleck, and gang. Well, first of all, also, before I finish reading that, is the creator of the show is a veteran himself. And so he had a great passionate love for veterans. And even though they tried to carry that over with the show, they were kind of pussified about it. And I didn't like that. Yeah. They only showed the sympathetic side rather than the strong side of veterans. They loved the sympathetic side, not the strong side.
Well, there was also a story that they were building up with the character. You realize that when you got to the end of the series, that it was really about a guy who just temporarily left the service. When you really think about it, he spends the next almost decade after spending really a good chunk of his life in the military, in the Navy. He leaves for about 10 years, becomes a private detective. He has all these adventures, learns new stuff about himself, only to get back in, only to join back up.
At the end, he goes back in, and that's what you see at the finale is him in his uniform.
Yeah, and it made sense because you were telling a story.
But they had him with the mustache, and that cracked me up because Navy SEALs do answer to a different rule book, but Department of Defense has very specific rules to each one of the branches about how far out the mustache is allowed to go, and it's usually the corner of the mouth.
Yeah.
You can't go past the corner of the mouth and you can't have a beard. But Navy SEALs eventually, not at that time from my knowledge, I don't think that came about until the 90s when Navy SEALs were given the option of growing full gray because they needed to be able to integrate into local cultures and not be noticed. And they didn't look so military when they were full grown beards and shit. But then under Obama, that changed again. But from what I heard, it went back. So they're back to the beards again. So, but anyway, finish reading what he said here. First depiction of any media that treated Nam vets respectfully. Yes, it was. And Nam was still way too fresh with me. Of course, Don, I know. I get that, brother. But I love Magnum PI because it did respect veterans and it didn't show them as dysfunctional and broken.
Yeah.
Because that was the problem. You know, Hollywood liked to depict anybody suffering from PTSD, or as they called it at one time, shell shock, combat fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and PTSD is the appropriate thing, PTS and PTSD. And so all of a sudden they get treated like they're broken. And it's like, no, that's not. Some of the most functional people in society. I mean, you see a lot of combat veterans who move on to be very successful businessmen, and they've got PTSD. You know, how do you explain that? Hollywood, you know.
I mean, well, look at all of the other characters outside of Magnum. Look at Rick. You know, look at TC, and to a lesser extent, even look at Higgins to a lesser extent. They were all
because he was a World War II veteran.
Yeah, they were all people that were veterans who had combat experience. And while they do the goofy stuff together and poke fun at each other, when it really came down to it, all four of them supported each other. And so you have a multi-generational story of friendship and loyalty, but also respect for the service. And to have it as a detective series, when in actuality it's really about one man finding a way to grow up. I mean, finding a way to function in the world, finding a way of healing parts of his life that he didn't even know initially were broken. You know, when you get into all those later stories about his dad and his mom and his stepdad and all that stuff, all the decisions that allowed him to eventually re-up. You know, this is a guy that never got a chance to really live the kind of life that you would live in your 20s. And he got a chance to do that when he left the service and become a detective and got a chance to date all these women and do all this amazing stuff. He got it out of his system and one day woke up and realized, I got a kid out there. I got to take some responsibility for my life. I almost died a couple of times. One time, technically on the show, he did. But now he comes back around and, you know what? This is what I know how to do. This is the one way I can really make a difference now that I'm having to raise a daughter on my own. And he joins back up with the service. And you got to respect that. I don't know of any other television series that had the balls to do that.
Yeah, I agree. And I watched all the way to the end of Magnum PI.
Who didn't? Who didn't?
Well, somebody did. Somebody quit halfway through season 10. Where was it? I saw it here.
I thought that was about Walking Dead.
Oh, Walking Dead. Okay. Well, because when you say Rick, I'm thinking Rick.
Yeah.
Rick and TC.
Oh.
He went your. We don't have enough time today, dude. There's just not enough time, buddy. Because we got to wrap up here in 6 minutes. But I do want to point out that, you know, I am excited about this Green Lantern show. It is going to go back and forth over time. I like the fact that they do have Guy Gardner, because Guy Gardner was a character that I thought that live action would be too afraid to bring forward. And that they're going to do it is neat to me. Because you know who the actor is that I thought should play him is the guy playing the Punisher.
John Bernthal.
Oh!
Bernthal looks like Guy Gardner to me.
I thought,
Always
you know, I always thought that what's his name who plays the Peacemaker would make a better Guy Gardner. John Cena looks a lot like Guy Gardner to me.
Guy Gardner's nose? No. Guy Gardner's got a broken nose.
I think you could make that work. I think well, he's already Peacemaker, but I think you could have made that work. Look,
I'm sure you could make it work, but the person who looks like him physically, facially looks like him is Barenthal.
Yes. And it sounds like they're going to go back with the idea that what's his name had for the Green Lantern series. And if they're going to do that, if they're going to go in with Greg Berlanti's idea of the series, then yeah, you're going to go back and forth through time and Alan Scott will be gay. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah. Now, I still won't get to see my favorite Green Lantern because there's no way they're going to do Jack Chance. Jack Chance.
Oh, you know what? I think they would be better off just allowing Snyder to help introduce that entire universe and go from there. Because look, I love the actor that played Diggle in Arrow. Fantastic actor, but you cannot tell me that the plan from the very beginning was to have him be John Gardner. I mean John Stewart. You cannot tell me that that was the plan from the beginning because it wasn't. You know, you're
no, there is no Bill. There is no more Doctor Who. Doctor Who is dead. It is dead. They're not going to get viewership. They have driven it into the fucking ground,
and they don't want to listen to Russell T Davies.
Watches. They won't listen to. Now, Russell is gay, and he had his Toby Stephens was Doctor Who. Shot footage with him, and BBC shut it down. Sony didn't stop him because I guess they didn't have the authority or power enough to stop him. And BBC wants to be woke to the end. So Doctor Who is gay with a trans, companion, and it's off the hinges. It's gone. It's dead. They have killed Doctor Who.
Yep.
It was dead to me the last few years anyway, because it was terribly written. Chris Chibnall was just fucking awful.
Oh, yeah.
He cannot write to save his fucking life.
That's right.
They had one episode I thought was good. One. That was the FedEx UPS episode in season 1 with her. And I thought that was kind of a fun episode. Past that, everything was garbage. And look, I gave up. I've let it go. You just got to let it go. I'm not going to support or talk about it on our show any further than saying that I'm done.
It ended with series 12.
Yeah, he was the last good doctor. Underestimating the brain deads that will actually watch. No. I'm not underestimating. I'm just telling you, the Marshall, my buddy, that they don't have that many people. You're talking thousands. I mean, you saw what happened at CW where they went from over 1.2 million views per episode. Star Trek too. They were up there high, and then suddenly it just dropped to thousands. Thousands watching Star Trek. Thousands. That is no way to fucking do a show. No fucking investor is going to want to put money into something like that.
That's right.
Put it behind they love to hide things behind paywalls. Sony will probably do that too with America. They'll hide those numbers from us. But I'm guaranteeing you, people will find out those numbers, and there are ways of figuring it out.
Well,
and we've seen it through some of our friends that have gone in and fucking shown where their numbers are.
Brian Robbins, who's running Paramount right now, seems to be intent on trying to turn things around. I'm telling you, this is going to be a battle of wills for him because I don't think he has the full confidence of the board. I don't think he's got I don't think he even has really half the kind of support that even Bob Chapek has at Disney. So this is going to be a freaking uphill battle. But if he can get his way, I'm thinking he was the one that started a lot of this stuff against Kurtzman and trying to get him extricated from the Star Trek IP, which, in my opinion, should have been done a long time ago if you go strictly based on the amount of money that has been burned I mean, that's literally what they took, a stack of cash and burned it because they haven't figured out a way of really reaching all the fans.
Well, exactly. And by the way, Dragon Ruse, the last bait and switch they did on us was it for Marvel. Star Wars was done with me. Bad Batch was a pretty good show. I felt like they didn't have a Mary Sue thing going with that little girl. But the fact that they keep turning to girls constantly, girls need to be the lead. Girls have to be the lead in the next thing we're doing. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it now. So you're seeing this thing, and it really has nothing to do with good storytelling. It has everything to do with agenda.
Yeah.
And I dislike it. But I did watch the new Predator. I gave a good review to it. I thought it was good, not great. It was good. There were some problems. I got into an interesting discussion over how I let go of certain things in it when I watched it, because I said, look, it's important that suspension of disbelief is not lost, because if I get pulled out of the movie, you failed. And I don't give a shit if somebody says, well, I like that film. Look, if you cannot maintain your suspension of disbelief with a basic audience, you have failed. I did not lose my suspension of disbelief while watching the film. Yeah, there were some things in there when you stop and think about it, like needed to be explained, like her ability to fight. But look, a lot of people don't know this. You know, I'm a student of history, that we have this great period of time starting in the late 1700s all the way up into modern times, which is what was done to all of the American Indians in this country. And there were things that were done correctly. And then politicians because I believe to this day that Andrew Jackson should not be on any denomination of money. No money. He was an enemy to this country in many ways. Yeah, he helped us with that war of 1812. Yes, that's true. Helped drive the Brits out. But he was an enemy to the American Indians. He was an absolute fucking enemy. And when he was president, he told the Congress, they said, but we have these treaties. He says, well, you bring your treaties and I'll bring the army and see which one wins. And he was the greatest oppressor. He started the oppression of the American Indian. And he was absolutely a horrible person for doing what he did. Now, I know my buddy Shane, Shane, says things about Teddy Roosevelt, but I said, Teddy Roosevelt, that is one thing that I don't believe that quote. But he did betray in some ways black soldiers in an incident that took place in the South. I feel like he absolutely turned his back on them when they had false allegations made with a rape and an assault that led to an incident. And I think that he really didn't do his, but when it came to his job as a president, Roosevelt was a hell of a president. And he did things that I don't think many presidents had the balls to do. He did more for our environment as a nation than all the presidents since combined.
Well, we wouldn't have national park system without him.
Absolutely. It is one of the times where I agreed with that eminent domain, because he was doing it to protect the forestry of this country. And that was Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt also fought monopolies and broke apart Mobil Oil. And Bill Clinton let it come back. And now we're seeing monopolies again, or Standard Oil. I'm sorry, Standard Oil. And Standard, once it was broken up the way it did, we stopped seeing the monopoly. We saw oil companies independent of each other making money. But then all of a sudden in the 90s, under Bill Clinton, as one of the few things that made me mad about him is he let them do the monopoly thing again. We started seeing them overpowering each other, and it's now a power struggle. And now we see the mess that it is today. One of the glaring issues with all the female leads is that there's a formula they use with female leads that makes them mostly boring. Well, they make them Mary Sues. And I don't think that was a Mary Sue with Prey. I felt like it was because she gets her ass fucking handed to her. She doesn't win. She fails. And her brother is there for her throughout that fucking movie. And I love that. And
yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
My politics, and Keith talks politics with me. Keith and I have talked a lot of politics. We don't agree. but we meet in the middle somewhere because we're very close politically. We really vastly differ in some areas, but we tend to have the same attitude about things. He's a liberal, and I'm conservative. But I'm what I refer to as Hubert Humphrey Democrat. And Hubert Humphrey Democrats would be conservative by today's standards. That's where I'm at. I've never changed. I've always had the same political beliefs. It would be a clash of the Titans. History correction. Not politics, but history. Yeah, I'd love to. But anyway, we've gone over. It was a good show. Keith, thanks a lot, man. You put a lot of knowledge out there today.
I tried. Hey, John, it's great having you, man. I mean, I'm serious. It's great having you on the show. You are just fantastic. That's the word I have for you.
Oh, you're gonna make me blush now.
But he only blushes on his ass cheeks. Anyway,
no.
Yeah, he'll get excited or embarrassed about something, and his wife will say, "Did somebody spank you?"
Well, if I had one of those.
Hey, I want to thank Anima for being there for me today because we didn't have Martin. So she collected all the names for me, so I'm going to go over them.
Thank you, Anima.
Here we go. So Aaron Ratliff, Bill Barkley, Mr. Tickletrunk, Penny, D-Dub Martin, Das Wolfin, Wolverine 626, Magitech Mags, Kingport Cal, Marshall, or The Marshall, Monkey Jeebus. Hello, Monkey Jeebus. How are you today? Come again. Willie Woodward, Dragon Ruse, Mighty Max, Natasha, Awesome One, Brightest Day, Lindsay the Cynical Geek. I've been trying to start a conversation with her on Twitter, and I've failed at it so far. I keep forgetting to do it. DC Talk with Extended, Michael Decker, Zax, our buddy Kyle. Yeah, Socks Bulletin. Of course, the amazing, always amazing Don Ecker. Apollome's Minion, Martin Acosta Santana, who is relegated to just being in the chat today. No, I'm not. You're my friend, buddy, and you really do. You're the other part of my brain, man. I need you. Of course, Baked Bean is here. Thanks for showing up, Baked Bean. Love that. War Monkey, my other favorite monkey. Kevin. Oh, by the way, War Monkey, fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. It's not what you did on Twitter. You're a dick. Anyway, Cavatino Cavalryman Che. I should just say his name, Che. But I like saying the full thing because he's a cavalryman. He's a fucking warrior. And of course, Tim's Talk is here. Hi, Tim. Good morning, buddy.
On your left.
What's that?
Oh, that's what he says when he comes into a chat, is on your left. On
your left. Jacob the Critic, who's also a good friend of ours. I think you know him too, don't you, John? Jacob from
I think so.
VisionCon. Yeah. Glasses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and his sister. In fact, I bought my chest of drawers from Jacob. But I don't have it anymore. Because when I moved to Joplin, I couldn't take it with me. I couldn't take any of my furniture with me. So I had to sell it. And I actually ended up giving that one away because it was crap when I bought it from you, Jacob. He knows that. But it's a good thing. I could set my shit on it. And it's where my TV sat. You bet, War Monkey. I will tell you to fuck yourself anytime, buddy. Fuck you. Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. Now I'm Buddy Jesus. You are part of my brain during the show. I really rely on you, Martin. And I'm so grateful. And thanks, John, for dropping in with us.
Oh, no problem.
You are a good friend of Keith's and mine. We love you, buddy. And Keith, I'm always glad when you pop in on my morning show because I don't know. I could do a show all by myself, but I really enjoy it when you guys pop in, especially you.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
And of course, I'm kind of hoping, and that's why I want you to jump in with the conversation with Don Ecker and me today, because I really want to do a show on Bigfoot this Wednesday instead of just UFOs. I want to get into Bigfoot. So, and Momo is the name. And we talked to that director who does those documentaries. He's a nice guy. He's not Bird, but he's really nice. He's not one of the. He's hard to get you. He's one of those people that's like, so do you like making movies? Yes. And you're like, okay, that's it for that answer. All right. Not a very talkative dude. Very quiet, soft-spoken. But I love his little documentaries he makes, and he did one on Momo. Yes, Dragon Ruse, Bill Barkley, all you guys. I love our chat. We were up in the 30s at one point. We're down to 18 now. I'm glad any of you stuck around because it's always fun. But with that, I'm going to end on this video. And then...
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
I love the next moment. Radon Chung is like, where's Sully? I let him go.
I miss that version of Arnold. I miss that version of Arnold.
We want him
so
back.
Much.
He could still do it, man. He's such a fucking fun actor. I don't think he's a great actor. He's a fun actor.
Yeah.
But that's it for the show. Dennis, thanks a lot. You guys are the bomb, diggity-yo. But that is the end of the show. And even though this show has been absolutely
fascinating,
it is the end. This is the end, my friends. Or at least that's what Singer once said. But we are done here, and I'm going to play us out now with our outro. So see you guys tomorrow morning.